Now, I will say that watching movies like iRobot, other, what is it? What was the movie that just came out with Colin Farrell?
Total Recall.
Yeah. Total Recall. Now, in terms of like just the technology, the CG work, the holograms and whatnot, they have the technology to make something that is truly ridiculously awesome. However, I don't know. Now you have a couple of pictures that have come out, and let's just get overall thoughts on it. Now, me personally, I do want to reboot RoboCop. You know, we can sit back and talk about the old days all day, forever. In fact, you know what I'm saying, forever. But it would be cool to have a newer RoboCop to the new generation that would also, give us some interest as well. What are your thoughts on it? Because I know you had a lot to say on it. So let's hear your thoughts, and we can just get a discussion going in the comments about what we all think about it. So you want to start?
You know, is as me being old school that I am, and I understand. To me, it's always like Hollywood's gonna remake something because they're running out of freaking ideas. Let's put it like that.
Mm-hmm.
So hearing them, then they said, "Oh, they're gonna remake RoboCop." I'm like, "Oh God, here we go." So when they finally showed the picture of what he looks like, I'm like, "Oh hell no!" I'm
I
like,
knew you
"Oh
was gonna say
hell
that.
no!" I'm like, he looks like Snake Eyes and Batman had a love child.
Yeah,
And I'm like, he don't even look that don't even look anything like RoboCop. And me being very nostalgic, I'm like, oh hell no. Then seeing another picture of him on a motorcycle, I'm like, okay. And then hearing, that who's gonna be in it and things like that. You got Gary Oldman. I love Gary Oldman. Great actor. You got Sam Jackson gonna be up in there. Michael Keaton's gonna be the bad guy who actually was supposed to be Hugh Laurie from for all those people who love House. He was
hmm
supposed to be the villain, but then he turned it down because negotiations didn't go right. And I'm just like, oh, what the hell? But then I'm like, you know what? I get they're trying to reboot this, for the new gen, them young bloods out there, and I'm like, but I still say to those young blood, watch the original one before you start just like, this is the best. Oh, that shit was hot.
yeah,
No, you just go back, But to me, I was just like, oh, no. But then when I say, I ain't gonna go see this, I probably will go see it, just to see what it's like.
yeah,
I always said never say never because that's me. I probably will see it, no matter what. It comes out when next year,
yeah. I
so
believe so.
next year or the 2014, I believe.
Wow,
So
2014.
I'm like, what, I probably will see it, but just the look of the feel and look of it, I'm like, that looked like Snake Eyes
Yeah,
as Batman. I'm like, this looks like Batman and Snake Eyes had a love child.
like I
You
think
know,
I think now. Well, all right. Let's look at it. Like, let's quarterback it logically, right? Now,
mm,
when they first made the first movies, you know, you could get away with that bulky style, But as time went on, everything is streamlined and is more slimmed down.
right.
Now, I understand that, you know what I'm saying? So, I could see why they did it. It just is so drastically different, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of don't know how to feel about it, but I see why they did it because it needs to be streamlined. However, the things that they shown, like the pictures and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
they're they're pretty. I would say it's a possibility that they put CG on it or something like. It's a possibility that it could be a lot more going on the suits per se, instead of just that black matte finish.
Right.
Like if you look at the pictures, he doesn't even have gloves on, and you know he's gonna have gloves on. I mean, it's just so it looks kind of unfinished. He has a glove on one hand and a glove not on the other. So there are things that are probably gonna be fixed when it goes. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, it looks I don't know how to feel about it. It looks pretty crazy. Now you got some concept art that was released like a long time ago,
Hmm.
um, and I believe it was on some of the comics websites and stuff like that, Tumblr and whatnot. And it looked pretty damn awesome. It was the silver and black RoboCop, more streamlined, but it looked more metallic. This one does look like the material for Batman's suit. Like it does look that way from what from what they're showing. It just looks like a guy in a suit as opposed to a cyborg. You know.
Right. That the equivalent that I look at it is when I look at the suit now is somebody like something in like video games like the next Metal Gear
Okay.
riding in his Metal Gear in the suit in his cyborg suit. That's how I look at it. Um, it's just like it's a guy in a suit and not a cyborg. You know, pro to say it's just he just looks like he's got a biometric suit on and not a that's his body parts. I'm not really feeling it because, like I said, the basic black stuff has been done a lot. It looks like, as I said, Batman and Snake Eyes had a love child.
Mm.
I'm not even joking about that.
Yeah.
Um, it doesn't look cybernetic like he. It looks more like a, a suit of like he just gets into a suit, almost like Iron Man, like S. You know, it's a biometric suit. It's not. He's not part of it.
Mhm.
Like the older robot, older RoboCop was. But as I said before, I'm going on to say, man, I ain't gonna go see this, blah blah blah, and I probably will go see it. So
I, at the end of the day, we have to see it to assess if it's garbage.
right, that's basically it.
And if it's not garbage, hey, I have no problems eating my words or any of that. It is what it is.
Like I said before, it's like this. Look, I first said, man, I'm not gonna go see X-Men First Class. I'm
Mhm.
not gonna see it. It's gonna be garbage, blah blah blah. I went to see it, and I went on and told her, man, I ate hella crow because it was actually a good movie. I really ate crow, and we'll just have to see about this one.
Yeah.
The cast is stellar. I mean, it's got a pretty decent cast. I'm not even gonna lie about that.
I mean, yeah. Let's keep it 100. I mean, you got awesome actors in here attached to this. And I would like to think. Now, it hasn't been the first time where the actors are in it, and the movie is gutter trash.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, however, I like to think that I have faith in these actors. Not only are these actors that I like, Jackie Earl Haley's in here too. Not
Mm-hmm.
only him, like actors that I like, but they're also seasoned to perfection. They're seasoned. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So I would think that they know what they're doing. I would think, and in a even in this movie, they will do the best performance they can do. So I think in that regard, I think it's gonna be pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just what I think. Now, that's just from an acting standpoint and stuff like that. Now, some other things that were released were like the police car, and it kind of looks like a regular police car, but with little modifications on it.
Right.
Like wheel guards. It looks like has a couple more little. I mean, it is more streamlined looking, but I would think in a future type setting, it would look way more future than that.
I
But
mean,
you know,
they're saying that this movie is supposed to really take more into the future.
hmm
So, with the from what I it said like 2028 or so. So they want to get a little bit more futuristic,
mm,
and that's fine. I don't mind that. It's just that all I'm saying is just hoping that it keeps the essence in a sense of what the original one did for my generation, pretty much.
hmm
That's all.
yeah, cause and they're on bikes and stuff like that, which is something that he actually was on a bike in the third one.
Right.
but it wasn't a like a OC like a official bike or whatever. But you know, they actually it looked like the vibe that I get from just the set photos alone gives me a Demolition Man vibe.
Aha, that's a good one.
You know, so just the color palette. I mean, even though they're set photos, just the stuff that they're using, the location they're in. I don't know. It just gives me that vibe. But one a couple things I want to run by you were, now you got RoboCop, and let's say they're not going to go the typical Murphy is the first and the only so far. Well, let's say, keep it traditional. Say he's the first, but is there the possibility that he's among many of RoboCops in a squad or a unit, kind of like a Judge Dredd thing, where you got multiple RoboCops
Mm,
on the force, or the RoboCop team is like a tactical, you know, like everybody's RoboCop who are cops. Maybe it's something like that. I don't know. So that's an open a possibility right there that maybe it's a whole squad, just like Just Dread, but they're RoboCops, which
right.
would it would be kind of I kind of expect that now, to be honest.
Hmm.
For it to be more than just one, because we've seen some concept art with some other people who are clearly not, other people than the actors and stuff, and that's a possibility right there.
That's a good premise. I do like that because from the premise that I've read about it, they saying that they still saying they're not, first of all, they're not calling, it's not called OCP. It's called
Omnicorp,
Omnicorp.
yeah.
So and they say they're like the center of robotic technology, and they have drones winning wars all around the globe or something like that. From what the premise I read, um, and Omnicorp actually, when Alex gets he gets injured in the line of duty, they rebuild him in a sense. So not only that, this feels more like it has a sense of the Bionic Man. This also has a sense of an anime that I love called The Eight Man.
The Eighth Man.
Yeah,
Give,
Eight Man.
give us a little backstory on the Eighth Man.
All right, The Eight Man. For all who's never seen it, is a show called Eight Man, and this is kind of where the premise of RoboCop actually came from. The last thing they did was called Eight Men After. It was an OVA. Very good. It is on YouTube. You look it up. Somebody put the whole movie up. It's only about an hour and some, but it's really good. And in this movie, he's not the first Eight Man, but this one he was a private investigator. He got injured in the line of duty. They rebuilt him. They put his brain into the robotics body, and he became the new Eight Man. So that's in a sense kind of where this kind of goes, because the premise also says that this Murphy is more. He's gonna protect his beloved city of Detroit, but he's also gonna have issues a regular man never had before. And in Eight Man, he started to have kind of problems with, for example, like he was remembering the killing of his sister, and they started his robotic brain, his brain function started messing with his robotic parts in a sense. So I'm like, this kind of gives me a little bit of feel of Eight Man in a sense as well. But if you've never seen Eight Man, check it out. Eight, it's like I said, the number eight dash man and after, and you'll look it up. It's on YouTube. You won't be surprised.
All right, that sounds pretty cool. Definitely
Mm,
check that out. Now another thing that I forgot to touch on when we were talking about the previous films, but I guess it just spill over into this film, or expectations, if you will. Now, in the previous films, there were these OCP just random ass commercials for random OCP stuff, or just commercials in general, just random looking. and or newscasts that would just pop in, and the news would come on in between shots and scenes and stuff like that. And it was pretty random, even though it would talk about crime, it would talk about cereal, about toys, just really random. And I like that kind of thing. I mean, I grown to like it when I was watching the first movie. So I don't know, to keep in the fashion of tradition, I guess. What do you think? Should they be? Do you think they'll have that type of thing in here?
You mean I'll buy that for $1?
I'll buy that for $1. Or it's like
I
on the first movie, he was like, it was called Nukem, like the game. He was like, nuke them before they nuke you. He was like, you crossed my line of borders. He was like, that's right, buddy. You're not getting any Pakistan help. Like it was weird.
Yeah,
Nuke them.
that'd be kind of interesting. Like, yeah, look, pay a little tidbits to the original, like with the random commercials, but I doubt they'll have, that kind of some crazy guy that just
Cheesiness.
goes around saying, I buy that for $1,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
but it'd be kind of interesting to see what they would do with it. But, you know, I don't think they want to go too much into, you know, it's kind of more of a re-imaging, reimagining of the character, but that would be really good to see if they like wink wink to the fans like, look, remember these like the random commercials they would show in the movie?
yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Um, Also, just thinking about how are they gonna do the story in terms of, is it gonna be just a total reboot? So, but will they have like an Ed 209 and stuff like that? I mean, that we have concept art, but that's all there are because we're not obviously the Ed 209 will probably be a combination of practical, a big built robot, and like CG and stuff. So we don't
Hmm.
have pictures of that. But I'm wondering if they'll have that. And looking at the suit again, it's very nice, sectional looking, but it's like very sectional. It looks like it has the potential to have compartments pop out, or it's made in such a way that they can use CG to make things pop out. I wonder if it's gonna have a leg holster, you know, stuff like that. Even, I mean, come on, it's like, it's the future. You should have like a arm blaster that's coming out or something like that. I'm wondering because the way the suit is structured with all
Hmm.
the compartments and panels and whatnot, it makes it seem like, okay, stuff is gonna pop out of here, pop out of there, you know, and
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like more Iron Man, like guess,
yeah,
probably smart missiles will come out and things like that.
mhm,
And the actor who's playing him, he's a little more slimmer,
yeah,
so I guess more to make the suit a little bit more comfortable for him. I think his name is Joel Kinnaman or something like that. I think that's his name. So in a sense, they want to give it a little more slimmer look. Now, right there gives me a premise of will he move like a cyborg in terms of, or will he move more human like, where if he runs, he's running hella fast, like
yeah,
after
yeah,
people, like he's like zoop all the way up on the guy. Like say the
like
guy, runs and next he's right up on him like peekaboo.
back to the Raiden reference. Like I
Yeah,
think that's he probably gonna be running up walls. I mean, just I mean some crouching tiger stuff. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
that's what I'm saying. Like more slick,
Yeah,
more agile than the previous RoboCop. So if that's the case, okay, I won't mind that.
yeah,
But I know they're trying to. This is a remake, and I know they're trying to. This is a re-imaging of the character. Fine. It's just gonna take me a little bit more longer to get the fact that this is RoboCop. In a sense, and it makes you wonder how he's going to talk, things like that. That's also some of the key factors I'm looking at as well.
yeah.
How's he going to talk? How's he going to move? What type of weapons are he going to have? Those images that we've seen. Will he have fully gloved hands, or is that just more CGI? Or is that how he going to look? That things
It,
like that.
it's like cause there's one picture when his name is Joel, yeah, Kinnaman.
Yeah.
And there's one picture when he's walking with the suit on, but he has like a robe on, I guess covering up for a set, whatever. And you can clearly see like he has a black, like spandex suit underneath of it, and the panels, you can see the panels are like separated when he walks and stuff.
Hmm.
So yeah, I believe that we're just seeing the rough stuff, you know. Um, I don't know. It just it does like I am anticipating the RoboCop that is so slick and samurai like,
Right.
because the villain has to be better than him, you know? And and to have that like Dragon Ball Z fast Matrix style, like to have that would look, I think would look pretty damn awesome. Like, how you feeling about the black though? You know what I'm
Like
saying?
like
Like
like,
just
like I
all
said,
black. Let's just say no silver, no nothing. You know, I mean, like the color itself. Are you fine with not having the two tone?
I like I said, the basic black thing has been done like very much over now. And it's done with Batman. Snake Eyes. That's the basic ninja black look,
Yeah.
and I don't mind it too much if it had maybe like some kind of other color in there. I mean, I'm looking at a teaser poster of it right now, and I see a little bit of streaks of red in it.
I'll see. Yeah.
So that could be in a sense maybe, but that whole samurai feel to it, or ninja base, is fine. And it's gonna take like, in a sense, some kind of villain that's really gonna, because yes, Michael Keaton is the villain of the, that's what they're saying. His name is Raymond Sellers. He's the villainous, villain of the movie, but I'm hoping there's some kind of other prototype that he's gonna fight or something in there that's gonna give him like a workout, and not just, well, okay, here's a villain, just get him, and that's
Well,
it.
I think in a sense the head guy Dick Jones in the first movie,
Yeah.
he was the villain because he would just send people after him. So I think maybe you said Michael Keaton, maybe he'll be the Dick Jones character. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, is he gonna be duking it out himself? Probably not. Probably not.
But it
However,
also says here that Jackie E. Harley,
uh huh.
Harley is basically gonna be the guy who trains RoboCop.
I see.
So that's kind of interesting. Another interesting matter right there as well.
I wonder if he trains RoboCop, or does he train the cop before he turns into RoboCop?
It just says a military tactician responsible for training RoboCop.
Okay, well, yeah. I mean, I would think that because as far as anything program wise and stuff, that's all programming. Like, once he gets in the suit, beam me up, Scotty. Like I'm in there.
Right.
So you shouldn't need somebody to sit there and like show you how to do stuff. I would think that that's like I guess he was in the military. The actor playing RoboCop, and
Mhm.
he was trained in the military before that happened to him, and then he turned to RoboCop. But I mean that's speculation, But
I also see that RoboCop will have a former partner, and that's going to be played by Michael Kenneth Williams, who you guys should all know, who played Omar from, from the oh god, what was the name of the movie show?
um,
From The Wire.
The
He's gonna
Wire.
he's gonna play his partner, his former,
Yeah. Yeah,
and
black guy. Okay.
they say Gary Oldman is gonna be the scientist that creates RoboCop. So that's gonna be interesting.
I wonder if what'd you say, the guy from The Wire? What's his name?
Yeah, Michael Kenneth Williams.
Yeah, I wonder if he is also gonna be a RoboCop.
That's gonna be interesting. That's something too.
I mean, I really do think. I mean, at this point, it's like you kind of need to have a fleet of them. You know, I don't know. Maybe just having one makes it more
Yeah,
unique. But I'm wondering, like, people get killed every day. Let's go. You
Right.
all you gotta do is boot them in, or replace the hard drive. Let's go. I also noticed on his bike, it's matte black, just like his. It's that same type of color like his suit, but it also has a lot of red accents on it. I don't know, like from the set stuff, from the car to the bike, I expected more futuristic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like they're going the more Judge Dredd route or Demolition Man route, because the colors are traditional stuff you would see today in terms of the coloring, and they're also on wheels. They're not hovering. I don't know. It looks like it's gonna be definitely be grounded in what RoboCop, like the world that RoboCop was in, because everything looks like usable today. Like I don't know how to explain it. I did expect more futuristic looking props and stuff like that. I don't know.
Like I said, I'm looking at some of the more the full of the armor, or his suit, like you said, and like I said, it does look like a sleek a version of Iron Man. I kid you not, it looks
Uh huh.
like something like that with just basic black to it, and instead of the black eyelid that was supposed to show where his eyes are, it's red.
Yeah, I
And
kind of like that though.
that's where I joke about now. He looks like a he looks like Kit from
Yeah,
Night
it
Rider.
kind
So
of, and it's like a tiny V shape or whatever. Like it's kind of, yeah. I see what you mean. Kind of,
yeah.
it's like a tiny slit. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's it.
So it's kind of weird, but like I said, he looks more slick down than like bulky that he was in the original one. Where the original one looked more like a hockey player, like the big shoulder pads and things like that, give him that bulky look. But in this one, he's more slick down, ninja like. But it's just takes me a little longer to get used to. And the motorcycle, looks like it's his motorcycle. That's not just a motorcycle he just found randomly.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's like I wonder if the suit is gonna be on always though. Also, um,
yes, another.
like, is it gonna be some nanotech shit? Like, I mean, is it gonna be something that he could put on like the Iron Man suit, like you were saying?
Hmm.
I don't, I don't know. It definitely, it looks so streamlined that I don't know. Like, yes, the Iron Man vibe is popping in.
Right.
Um, but I don't. I wonder how it's gonna be applied, or is it on him always?
Yeah, like I mean, that's what I'm once again I go back to Ape Man in a sense, because he could change his look and make him look like he was human, but and then you can see him come into his armored look. So I'm wondering if, yeah, like you said, nanotechnology where it'll come off at some time, but I would doubt that, because then I had to give away, like, hey, Alex Murphy's still alive, so something like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like,
So
I would imagine that they're gonna go with the whole, Murphy's dead. Nobody knows that that's RoboCop.
mhm.
We'll see where
Still
that goes.
keep up, like I said, still keep that essence of the original text, instead of just well, we're gonna have him take it off, and and people will still know Alex Murphy's kind of alive. No, so I don't mind that, but it's just hard. Like I say, he looks like a walking kit. He
Yeah,
looks like a walking kit, just a basic black and a red line. All he needs is that thing just going back and forth.
yeah,
So,
yeah. That's that. Yeah, I don't. That sounds kind of slick. I don't know. Oh,
yeah,
also, let's get on the weapon. I mean, you're a cop. You're probably gonna have a firearm.
right.
Probably gonna be fairly, souped up or whatever. Have a big gun. He's RoboCop. We already know what it is. But we also see a lot of concept art with like a sword and stuff. I'm wondering
Hmm.
exactly, what weapons is he gonna have? Is he gonna have other weapons other than just sword, or well, just a well? And I also see the back of his suit when he's
Mm-hmm.
just standing there, and it
Right.
had some red lights and stuff. Like it looks pretty legit when he's just standing there, and he has yes. In this picture I'm looking at right now, he is holding a gun, and his hand that doesn't have a glove on it, which I still don't understand why that is.
Right.
So I'm not sure, but he definitely is holding something in his hand, in this little crowd shot that he have here. So he has a gun for sure. Uh, I don't know. It'd be cool if he had a sword. It'd be super.
Yeah, we got to look at it also like this is the future, so we don't know what kind of weapons that the cops are wearing now. But with RoboCop, he's always had a bigger gun than everybody else, you know. And in a sense of will the gun be semi-automatic or will it be automatic? Will it have like because I seen concept art that he's got like a hidden blade that comes out. I think like that blade that he was in the first movie where he could download into things. So I still
Yeah,
think he still has that. It kind of looks almost like Wolverine-esque, but it does give you a sense of like what other type of weapons will he have. Also give you a sense will he be bulletproof. Things like that. Just how strong is this armor of his.
yeah. I
You know,
mean, I would expect that he got like superhuman strength, like probably have him stopping a car at full speed or something like that.
mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a lot of places they can go with it for sure. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Yeah, man. I mean, overall, like I'm excited for it because I want to see what they'll say what they'll do, but I'm also scared because if they fuck it up, I'm gonna be like hella pissed.
Yeah, that I'm with you right there. It's like I'm gonna be, I'm really like I don't want to see it, but then your conscience start bothering like, man, go see the damn movie. You know you're gonna see it, and but then you're like, but if it screw it up, then you're gonna be you'll have a field day. I'm
Yeah,
I'm ready to go in and be like, man, fuck this movie or something like that.
yeah.
You
That's
know, and in a sense, it just makes you wonder. As much money as they put into the movie, it's like I'm from what I'm looking at how much the budget is right now, estimated to be about 100 mil right there.
mm,
And so they putting a lot of stock into this movie. So if it don't live up to or it even breaks box office and win back the profit that it took to make the movie, then yeah, it's a failure. It's a failure right there. You know,
the only thing, really, they're depending on us, like the longtime fans, to go and pick up that slack. You know what I'm
right?
saying? Because the new people gonna be like RoboCop. I mean, on its own, for somebody who knows nothing of RoboCop, it'll probably seem cool as hell. Um, so you'll get asses in the seats.
Yeah,
But
like you said, like take anybody who may have grown up who was born maybe the late 90s and still growing up, they see this now like, oh, what's this? I want to go see this, something like that. But if you take somebody who's grown up earlier than that and have seen the older movies and they're like, well, you know what? Maybe I should go check this out, see how it is. Let me support it, even if I don't feel it as much. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
I understand. It's like you got a fan loyalty or character
mhm,
loyalty to it. And I think just like the analogy you made with X-Men First Class, man, people were shitting on that movie like straight up, like after before they seen it. Just when it was announced,
yeah,
characters. This isn't the First Class, and who is that red guy? He's Nightcrawler's father, but he was just introduced in the 2000s. He's not even really canon, so why is he
mhm,
in it? I'm like, what? But when you see it, it was so well crafted that it's like, boom, you got to give it up. I
right.
mean, and hopefully this will just blow shit away.
And
Also you get a little bit of an iRobot vibe just from the con like the posters and stuff. Because the
right.
posters look different from the body look of the suit, though. So I don't know.
Well,
Might
you got and I Robot. I've always said, I always told people don't sleep on that movie because that movie was really good.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, and in a sense, what also I think we is like, what is the rating of this movie going to be? See, that's something that is it going to be rated R or is it going to be PG-13? And
Uh,
I'm banking it's probably going to be PG-13.
I mean, I would think yes, maximizing PG-13, probably in 3D, just to get that money up.
Yeah,
But to be truly, I, I can't even say that, but I would think to be truly loyal to it, you would have to it would have to be a rated R. I mean, things would be getting chopped in half. I mean, people getting blown apart. Nah, I don't know, man. Yeah, I'm banking on PG-13 just because it seems more
yeah,
attractive.
because the whole sense of this generation now, they seeing that this PG-13 works now. You can show a little bit of this, but that works for everybody now instead of trying to go rated R, and that's kind of a sense a matter as well.
If you do it right, you can fit a lot of things in PG-13 that you be like, damn,
Right?
I
Yeah,
just saw half a nipple in PG-13.
yeah. There you go. You see,
So you just gotta be smart about it. But anything else you wanted to add?
other than that, I'm just looking at it. I just got to look at it kind of with my eyes open in a sense, and try to go into this as I'm new to the franchise in a sense, especially if you. That's how you got to kind of go into stuff like this. These remakes is sometimes looking at it from a different perspective in somebody else's eyes, you know. But there are some movies there are some remakes I can't accept, and there's some maybe I can slightly accept. I mean, there's a remake coming out about a classic horror movie called Carrie, and I don't care how much you can change that, the original one will always be better than that. But that's just me. I've always said just kind of go into it looking at somebody else's eye, like somebody who hasn't watched the franchise, somebody new. That's you kind of go into here with new eyes, new perspective.
And that's
That's
and that's something that you know you're amongst the few that can do that. Like that's something that's very hard for people who are fans of something uh, to do. To look at it with a fresh perspective. I know you come across it a lot with comic book fans, and when they change characters and do certain things to characters and stuff like that. And I know you have your gripes as well with certain issues in comics and movies and whatnot. But
hmm
I would say by far out of everyone, well, I guess you and I don't know, a lot of you are amongst the few people on YouTube that embrace change when it happens to characters, shows, stuff like that. You give it a chance before you just throw it under the bus. You know what I'm saying? Now, if it's worthy of being thrown under the bus, it gets ran over by that Greyhound. You already know.
right, yeah. If it's that, then yeah, then the Hurricane comes out. Then Hurricane Chris will come out and dominate and bury this thing. But if not, I'm willing to give things a chance, no matter what. If I don't, then yeah, Hurricane Chris comes out. I let him take over the body, and yeah, he let you have it. But I'm looking at this like I gotta look at it from a different perspective of, what? Let me look at it from a fresh set of eyes and be like, you know what? Okay, it's just a new generation. No, It's like it's like for somebody, it's like somebody going at looking at who grew up with Sean Connery
Mm,
007 and then looking at Daniel Craig's 007. You could see total differences,
yeah.
but they still look at it like still 007, and I like it.
Mhm.
See what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's how you got to do it sometimes.
That's good stuff. Well, yeah, this has been a epic discussion. I mean, We went in on. We touched on just about everything. Probably we didn't touch on card games and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Did we talk about games?
No, we didn't talk about the RoboCop games,
I
but
skipped. I
let me
skipped.
just say they were pretty decent and fun. Back in the days, I remember playing a couple on the original Nintendo and
Yeah,
things like that. But you
I
don't
played.
really have to talk too much about it.
Yeah, I played RoboCop versus Terminator on the Game Gear. One of the first
Yeah.
games I had on the Game Gear, and on
Hmm.
Sega I played that as well. So it was it was cheese. It was a running gun. It is what it is. But yeah, this RoDNEY383. Holla at your boy,
This is his friend Mom Burning Kid.
and we will see you guys next time. We need to start calling these something, cause
Yeah.
like the retrospectives. I don't know.